Hello, I am Master Sergeant Ward. I am your MLG Career Planner staff in CIC, alongside Gunnery Sergeant Green. Today, it's a very important time for you to make a decision. It is time for you to figure out and decide if the Marine Corps is going to be a career for you. And that's what we're here for today. We are talking about the first term alignment plan. After receiving this brief, you are going to have all of the information that you need in order to decide and make the best decision possible for you and your family when it comes to reenlistment. So today we're going to talk about who's an FTAP Marine, the purpose of the first term alignment plan, basic information, reenlistment prereqs, FTAP quality comparison report, reenlistment incentives, lateral moves, special duty assignments, and also the retention timeline. Let's get started. Who is a first-term Marine? A first-term Marine, or an FY21 first-term Marine, is any Marine on their initial active duty contract. You also will have an EAS ECC of October 1st, 2020 to September 30th, 2021. First-term alignment plan, the purpose. What does it mean? The purpose of the first-term alignment plan is to identify the number of first-term Marines by primary MOS. The Marine Corps must reenlist in order to meet the requirements of the force structure. So every year, certain Marines will EAS, certain Marines will retire. And based off of the needs of the Marine Corps, Headquarters Marine Corps will come out with a certain amount of numbers for Marines to reenlist as first-termers. Reenlistment lengths. There are different lengths that a Marine can reenlist for. There are basic ones. The basic one is 48 months. That is the standard time that a Marine can submit for reenlistment. If qualified for a bonus of 48 months plus your remaining time must be reenlisted. You must reenlist for. You can reenlist for 36 months. That can be requested by any Marine. And if qualified for a bonus, the Marine may receive a reduced amount if you reenlist for only 36 months. You can also request a 24-month reenlistment. This will only be processed on a case-by-case basis, and it's mainly used for Marines that are on for further observation packages or for further observation contracts. Let's go over a couple definitions. The first definition, a boat space. A boat space is any available spot or reenlistment opportunity in a Marine's primary MOS. Let's talk about the boat space report. A boat space report is a real-time report. At any time, you can see your career planner, and they can let you know how many boat spaces remain on the boat space report. And what it is, it's an amount of space per MOS that's required and requested from Headquarters Marine Corps. The next definition, fast-filling MOS. A fast-filling MOS is a primary MOS that traditionally has more requests than there are boat spaces available for Marines to reenlist into. For further observation, for Marines who have jeopardy on their previous contract and need additional service for observation. Most FFO contracts are only for 24 months. However, a 36-month FFO may be granted on a case-by-case basis, or for Marines requiring obligated service for overseas assignments. Basic reenlistment prereqs. So in order to reenlist, every Marine has to meet a basic reenlistment prerequisite, starting with having demonstrated the highest standards of leadership, professional competence, and personal behavior, and core values of honor, courage, and commitment, which just means continue to be a good Marine. Set the standard, set the example, and you will have an opportunity to submit for reenlistment. You must be worldwide deployable. You have to be full duty. You have to be ready to go, and that's exactly what that means. You have to meet medical and dental standards. You have to be full duty, and you also need to have a dental classification of 1 or 2 in order to reenlist. You must pass a current and full PFT and a CFT. You have to be within height and weight standards or be within body fat standards. You can't have an incident involving confirmed illegal use of drugs, possession, sale, distribution of a controlled substance. Per Marine Corps Order, PAPA 5300.12. You cannot be a conscientious objector and never receive clemency under the President's clemency program. as well as not be a sole surviving son or daughter. Basic reenlistment prereqs continued. You cannot have any known convictions by a court martial. You cannot have any known convictions by civil authorities. Whether the fine is a maximum penalty of $500 or more, or confinement of 6 months or more. No more than 2 NJPs. You can have 1 NJP, you can have 2 NJPs, but not more than 2 NJPs. You have to have a minimum pro and con marks of 4.040 during the current enlistment contract. No fitness report date gaps. Not have been assigned to a level 2 or 3 alcohol treatment program per Marine Corps Order PAPA 53.12 during the past 12 months. Marines who are single parents or dual military, you have to have a family care plan. Now, with the prereqs that we just covered, there are waivers on case-by-case basis. So if you have specific questions for something that was not covered in the slide, please see your career planner. Also, in addition to the basic prereqs, first-term Marines, you have to have graduated from high school or hold an alternate credential holder or be an alternate credential holder, and you must have a GT score of at least 80 or higher. What the Marine Corps is looking for is the whole Marine concept. Everything is considered and everything is looked for when it comes to the retention decision. The tier system, or the FTAP quality report. Let's talk a little bit about that. The tier system is an objective tool that's designed to let the commander know and see where you fall in comparison to the other Marines in your primary MOS. The commander's recommendation is subjective. They have the opportunity to agree with the calculated FTAP report, or they could place you higher or lower based off of their subjective observation of you and your performance. For example, a commander may have a reenlistment request in front of him or her, and the Marine breaks out and is a tier 2. Based off of what that commanding officer knows and the recommendations throughout the rest of the chain of command, they can either increase that Marine's tier based off of their recommendation. They can recommend a higher tier, or if that Marine has not been performing outside of their FTAP quality report, they could reduce that tier recommendation as well when it comes to your reenlistment recommendation. So the FTAP quality comparison report, it is based off of your PFT score, your CFT score, your pros and cons, your rifle range, your McMat belt, and also if you've been meritoriously promoted. So tier 1 are the Marines in the highest top 10% and have the total score of their MOS. Tier 2 are for the Marines that are in the next 30% of the total score in their primary MOS. So from the 11th to 30th percentile. Tier 3 Marines are the Marines that are in the next 50% total score in their primary MOS. So those are the Marines that are from the 30th or 31st to 90% in their MOS. And Tier 4, those are the bottom 10%. So the 91 to the 100%. The majority of our Marines fall between Tier 2 and Tier 3. So don't think that if you're not a Tier 1 that you're not a good Marine. The preponderance of where the Marines break out are pretty average. So regardless of where you fall, just ensure that everything, the whole Marine concept is understood. If you volunteer, if you do things outside of your primary MOS, everything should be taken into consideration when you're speaking with your leadership. So regardless of your tier computation, if you have an NJP, you cannot exceed Tier 2. And a Marine with 2 NJPs will not exceed Tier 3. And Marines with special court martial or other court martials will not exceed Tier 4. So the tier comparison, the way it's calculated, it is computed by every point equals, every point for your score equals 1 point. So for each point on the PFT, it equals 1 point. If a Marine has the 257 PFT score, they get 257 points for their PFT. Same with CFT. Pros and cons, it's multiplied by 100. So if you have 4.4, that's 440 points. Conduct, the same. Rifle, each point on the range equals 1 point. For McMap, you receive more points the higher that the belt that you have. So every Marine should be encouraged to increase their McMap belt for a higher score on their FTAP quality comparison report. In meritoriously promoted, if you were or have been meritoriously promoted, you will receive 100 points on your FTAP quality report. Let's say you were calculated at Tier 2, you were meritoriously promoted, it is going to automatically bump you up to Tier 1. Once again, the commander's recommendation is subjective. The commander can agree with the FTAP quality report, or the commander can disagree and mark you elsewhere. Reenlistment incentives. Let's talk about what the Marine Corps is going to do for you. So a first-term Marine who submits for reenlistment and subsequently reenlists after 5 July will rate a duty station incentive. You can rate either, or will rate an incentive. You can rate a duty station incentive. You can rate a lateral move incentive. You can rate a special duty assignment incentive. But you can also rate a selective reenlistment bonus, as well as a kicker, and those are published via separate correspondence. Duty station options. You have to be calculated Tier 1 or Tier 3 in order to rate a duty station incentive. Duty station preferences will only be authorized for those Marines who submitted between 5 July 2020 and 30 September 2020. If a request is submitted after that timeline, no duty station preference will be authorized. The duty station preferences are based off of the needs of the Marine Corps, billet vacancies, and also the Marine's preference. So the monitor will work very hard to get you the specific duty station that you are requesting. Career planners will input at least one of the following installations for geographic locale for your request. You're either going to choose Camp Pendleton, whether it's Miramar, MCRD, Okinawa, Hawaii. So there's no specific MCC, but you can request 3 specific geographic locales for your duty station incentive. In order to PCS, in order to rate to move with your reenlistment incentive, you need to have at least 24 months time on station to execute that duty station incentive. YAA, duty station options. YAA means a Marine can request retention on station. It doesn't mean staying in the same unit, but it does mean staying in the same geographic locale. And that is up to 1 year after the Marine reenlists. So after that, the Marine doesn't have a say-so, and you're at the needs of the Marine Corps after that 1 year period. YAB, that is a deferred duty station. So the Marine can request that duty station option to be, the Marine can request their duty station option to be deferred if he or she has not been on station long enough to execute their orders. It is up to the Marine to reach out to their career planner 6 months before it's time for them to rotate. At that time, they will submit a message up to Headquarters of the Marine Corps and request the 3 different duty stations that the Marine is interested in, and the Marine will get a response back from the monitor on that request. So reenlistment incentives. For your selective reenlistment bonus, every year, Headquarters Marine Corps will come out with a MAR admin that specifically speaks to your reenlistment bonus incentives. Last year, it was MAR admin 380 TAC 19. For FY21, there will be a new published MAR admin here soon. So for first-term Marines, you all fall under Zone Alpha or Zone A, which means that you have been in the Marine Corps and have served from 17 months to 6 years of active military service. So any Zone A Marine that reenlists on or after 5 July 2020 are eligible for the FY21 SRB program if your MOS rates a bonus. There will also be SRB kickers, published separate correspondence as well. Please see your career planner for any of the SRBP eligibilities. This year, Headquarters Marine Corps may or may not come with different SRB kickers. We will have to find out. SRB kicker examples. There's an early reenlistment kicker. That's for the Marines that reenlist between 5 July and 30 September. Your MOS has to be rated for an SRB in order for you to rate the early reenlistment kicker. Aircraft maintenance kicker. You have to be corporal through gunnery sergeant. You have to meet certain qualifications, whether it's CDI, CDQAR, QAR, or SFF. You have to reenlist for 48 months. And your primary MOS has to be listed on the MAR admin for the bonuses. 72-month lap move initiative. That's for our Zone A Marines that lap move into designated MOSs. You have to reenlist for 72 months, and you rate a bonus of $40,000 on top of the initial or already allotted bonus for that MOS. There's also the Infantry Squad Leader Initiative. Those are for our Marines, our 03s, 0311, 0331, 0341, 0351. And those Marines rate an extra bonus as well. So depending on the MAR admin for FY21, we will see how many kickers are available, and we will also be able to let you know if you qualify based off of the MAR admin published in the near future. Only one reenlistment incentive may be authorized. There may not be coupled with another incentive, and so see your career planner for the new MAR admin that is released for bonuses. Lateral moves. There are lateral move opportunities for our first-term Marines. If you are interested in changing your job, now is the time for you to submit for a lateral move. Now, there are certain MOSs that we need in the Marine Corps, and these are our high-demand MOSs. These MOSs include 0211, Counter Intel, 0241, 0321, our Recon Marines, MARSOC, whether it's Contracting 3044, MCCS, Career Planning, 5821. So as long as you meet the requirements for these MOSs, you can speak with your career planner and you can submit for a lateral move into one of these high-demand MOSs. Lateral moving into JSF, or our Joint Strike Fighter MOSs. Only qualified Marines that have like JSF MOSs, 6218, 6258, and so on, are authorized to lap move into the JSF program. If you have any questions, please see your career planner and they can help screen you for this MOS as well. All of these MOSs are high deploying MOSs, which means that there's a great need for these MOSs. If you are in these MOSs, or if you submit for a lateral move into one of these MOSs, you could possibly receive an answer back on your request earlier in the fiscal year. Special duty assignments, SDAs, or screenable billets. In order for you to rate and go on a special duty assignment, you need to reenlist for 48 months. There are a limited number of special duty assignment spots that the monitor can release per MOS, but it's definitely an incentive that you can request with your reenlistment package. So when we talk about special duty assignments, we're talking about recruiting duty, drill instructor duty, MSG, security forces, and also Marine combat instructor. So your career planner can go into specifics and break down the requirements for each of the special duty assignments, and you can qualify and reenlist with that incentive. Corporals and below who successfully complete an SDA school will receive 100 composite score points towards their promotion to the next grade. And Marines who have completed and are assigned on a special duty assignment are considered highly qualified when it comes to promotion to Staff NCO. When can I submit? When can I put my package in? All FY21 first-term Marines submitting for reenlistment can submit on 5 July 2020. Due to the Commandant's emphasis in retaining the highest quality Marine, computed Tier 1 Marines may receive immediate responses back on their packages from Headquarters Marine Corps. So what happens if I don't receive a boat space? There are a couple options. If you don't get a boat space in your primary MOS, you can submit for lateral moves. Remember those high demand MOSs we talked about? Those are the ones that you want to be qualified for and submit for. You also have the option of submitting something that we call a Quality Marine Identification boat space. So this boat space, or a QMI boat space, is a boat space that is endorsed by your commanding general, by our commanding general, to Headquarters Marine Corps. And it's endorsing you for reenlistment, even there are 0 boat spaces left in your primary MOS. So the way that this works is that only one MOS, only one boat space per MOS can be requested by our general. So you have to be the top-notch Marine requesting this QMI boat space and requesting up to Headquarters Marine Corps. And the last option is to EAS, but we don't want our good Marines to separate. We want to keep and hold on to the quality Marine that Headquarters Marine Corps needs, which is you. So why reenlist? Why submit my package and why submit it up to Headquarters Marine Corps? Possible bonus. Based off of your MOS, you may rate a bonus. And if you're in a combat zone, you rate a bonus tax-free. We're talking about duty station options, our career advancement, medical and dental benefits, 30 days paid vacation, job security, travel opportunities, as well as college tuition. There are many times, and times have changed, and there are a lot of things going on right now. The Marine Corps is definitely a good place to be when we're talking about reenlistment. Are you undecided? Submit anyway. Regardless of what if you're 100% sure or not, send the package up to Headquarters Marine Corps. See what it comes back with. Request your duty station incentive. Request the special duty assignment that you've always wanted to do. And allow Headquarters Marine Corps to give you that answer, and then you can say, yay, I'm going to submit for reenlistment, or you know what, I've found different opportunities on the outside, and I'd like to give my boat space back to Headquarters Marine Corps. But at least have the option. At least have the ball in your court to be able to make that decision, not only for you, but also for your family. Do not let someone else make that decision for you. Let's talk about our timeline. We're just going to cover the top of the timeline, or our FTAP timeline right now. So beginning 5 July, first-term Marines can submit their packages all the way through 30 September. That is where the submission deadline is going to end. So once all packages have been received, MMEA, or Headquarters Marine Corps, is going to let us know what MOSs have been deemed fast filling. And they're also going to push out different deadlines to let us know certain MOSs we can now no longer submit further packages because we've gotten too many submissions for those MOSs. In other words, it's a fast filling MOS. Your career planner will be able to communicate with you about what's closed and what options are still available for you as a first-term Marine. Now, after that, or past 30 September, you no longer will rate the early reenlistment kicker if they are to have it this year. And also after 30 September, you will no longer rate the duty station incentive. So what we want you all to do is to submit early. The earlier that you submit, the more options and opportunities that are available for you for reenlistment. So today, we talked about the purpose of the first term alignment plan. We also gave a little basic information. We talked about the reenlistment prereqs, the FTAP quality comparison reports, reenlistment incentives, lateral moves, special duty assignments, and we also touched on the retention timeline. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention and watching our FTAP brief. Please see your career planner. Your career planner has all of the dates. Your career planner will have all of the MAR admins as they are released to be able to give you all of the specific information for you as a first-termer, as an FY21 first-term Marine. Remember, this is your career. It's no one else's. No one's going to take care of you like you and your family. Take advantage of every opportunity and make sure that you see your career planner to submit your reenlistment package as early as possible. Reenlist today. I am Master Sergeant Ward. Myself and Gunnery Sergeant Green are your MLG career planners, and we thank you for everything.